Madam Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Members of the House. Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to share to the Honourable Members of the House the external examination results for 2015 in comparison to 2014, as alluded to some time back when this issue was discussed last year. Madam Speaker, in the beginning of last year, there was some debate on the removal of scaling for years 12 and 13 exams and bringing back of exams from years 6 to 11. Madam Speaker, following comments from various stakeholders and our own perusal of past results, we noted that we were not adequately preparing our students for further studies and for the labour market as well, as the results did not correctly portray the true stock of knowledge that the students had acquired. It also did not provide correct guidance to parents and guardians, as well as to teachers, on their performance as reflected in the pupils' performance, because marks were mechanically adjusted to deliver a desired outcome. Madam Speaker, we also analysed the raw results of past years. We noted the low mean marks and also low percentage pass rates in almost all of the subjects in year 12 and 13. Madam Speaker, let me just highlight the 2014 year 13 pass rate of some of the mainstream subjects. English pass rate, 76.1% in 2014 year 13, with a mean mark of 53.2 across the country. Mathematics, the pass rate was 7.5%, Madam Speaker, and the mean mark was 27 out of 100. Biology, the national pass rate was 16.2%, Madam Speaker, 2014, whereas the mean mark was 35. Chemistry, the national pass rate was 18%, whereas the mean mark was 26.7%. Physics, the national pass rate was 37%, 37.4%, whereas the mean mark was 38.4%, the mean mark. Geography, 37% pass rate. History, 21.6% pass rate. Accounting, 35.7% pass rate. Economics, 21.1% pass rate. Madam Speaker, if you note, apart from English, all the other subjects, the pass rate was well below 50%. This bothered us in the ministry, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the marks portrayed that there was a failure in the system and we had to act fast, as we were continuously passing out poorly prepared students to universities and the labour market by adjusting their marks to deliver the desired outcome. Madam Speaker, the problem was compounded with the removal of exams up to year 11, and thus poorly prepared students were passed on from one year to the other without them, their teachers and parents knowing the true status of their level of attainment at that year or level. Good teachers became helpless because the students did not have the base knowledge from the previous year, which was supposed to be provided to them in the previous year. They then covered the basics and examined them, the basics, in the annual examination and passed them on to the next level. Madam Speaker, this cycle continued until such time the student reached year 12. The student again performed badly in year 12, but this time around, their marks were adjusted using the scaling formula. In the formula, pass rate was set as 50%. So it was guaranteed that on an average, 50% students will pass to year 13. That was how the formula was set, Madam Speaker. They were allowed to progress to year 13. The same happened in year 13, Madam Speaker, but in the year 13 examination, in the formula, the pass rate was set at 54%. And therefore, Madam Speaker, on an average, 54% of the students would pass in year 13 and move on to the labour market or to the universities. Madam Speaker, concerns over scaling were not adequately addressed and were mostly left unanswered, which created doubts and led to suspicions and a loss of confidence in the examination system. Madam Speaker, public demands to make the formula public used for scaling were ignored, saying it was confidential information. Madam Speaker, following approval by Cabinet to discontinue scaling of marks, we inform students, teachers and parents that external exam marks will no longer be adjusted and students will be given their original subject scores, thus reflecting their true performance in each subject for every year. Madam Speaker, B, we reintroduce exams from year 6 so that they are focused, have a goal to target, and parents also joined in to prepare the child for the year-end exams. C, we prepared detailed solution guide for each subject exam paper for years 12 and 13 for the last 4 years, and these were provided to the students and teachers at no cost to them. Soft copies of these were also loaded on our homepage. D, teachers were encouraged to finish syllabus if possible by term 2 and spend term 3 for revision work. And E, teachers were encouraged to take extra classes in term 2 to cover the syllabus. And as Speaker, the whole nation was psyched up. Scaling was discontinued. Exams were reintroduced. Students were talking about it. Teachers were discussing amongst themselves, with students and parents were talking to their children and reminding them to work hard. Madam Speaker, the whole nation was geared up to prove that the children didn't have to be given marks for nothing. They can work hard and achieve the desired outcomes. Madam Speaker, back in the ministry, we also tightened up on quality control. Unlike before, in 2015, subject matter specialists in the curriculum development unit were recruited and tasked with the responsibility of preparing the national exam papers. In the recruitment procedure, it was a requirement for senior education officers to have a master's degree in the relevant subject area so that these experts can design better curriculum and better assessment for children of this nation. Madam Speaker, let me now present to you in the House the comparison of the external examination results for 2014 and 15 for year 12 and 13. Madam Speaker, the average mark for English in year 12, there was a slight reduction from 76% pass rate to 65.4% pass rate. For mathematics, the pass rate increased from 7.5% to 37.1% for year 12. For biology, the pass rate increased from 16.2% to 54.4%. For chemistry, the pass rate increased from 18% to 34%. For physics, 37% to 62%. For geography, 37 to 60. For history, 21 to 41. For accounting, 35 to 57. For economics, 21 to 52. Madam Speaker, for year 13, the pass rates were as follows. For English, it increased from 63 to 64, 1% change, positive. Mathematics, 15 to 42%. Biology, 14 to 40%. Chemistry, 10 to 34%. Physics, 28 to 57%. Geography, 59 to 80%. History, 33 to 54%. Accounting, 39 to 64%. And economics, 55 to 64%. Madam Speaker, members of the House, let me summarize what we were able to achieve over the last 16 months. Madam Speaker, we were able to change student mindsets on the continuation of mark scaling and getting them to work hard towards a performance-based award system. Madam Speaker, I must say that while we have increased the pass rate, we haven't got where we should be. The work has begun, Madam Speaker. The work has begun. Madam Speaker, teachers have all been psyched up and have risen up to the occasion to teach, nurture, and mentor and guide students towards the year-end exam. Wow. Madam Speaker, parents had also stepped in to assist and support the students. Madam Speaker, we have lifted the raw scores in pass rate, but this is just the beginning. A lot more needs to be done on not only raising pass rate, but also on ensuring that quality of these graduates are improved. Madam Speaker, we will outline this week later and in weeks ahead our plans and strategies to improve the quality aspects of our graduates. Madam Speaker, at the national level, we're able to collectively raise the level of discourse on education to unprecedented level. Madam Speaker, never before this level of discussion on education took place in Fiji, in and via different forums, open forums, Talanoa sessions, in Parliament, letter to editor columns, talkback shows, Tikina Council meetings, etc. Madam Speaker, this is what we wanted for so long. This is what we wanted. We wanted a national movement on education, and you may have noted this movement is led by none other than our own Prime Minister, Madam Speaker. He has, He has, along with our Ministers of Finance, Honorable Qayyum, has backed this discourse with appropriate level of financial resources. Should I say unprecedented level of financial resources for education, Madam Speaker, meeting the UNESCO set benchmark for education budget to total budget ratio. We are the only country, Madam Speaker, we are the only country in the Pacific region that we have met the UNESCO benchmark for budget, education budget to national budget ratio. Madam Speaker, this discourse had got everyone together on at least one conclusion, that education will transform people's lives, raise households out of poverty and hardship, contribute to economic growth and development, and also contribute to nation building by an educated population who will make decisions, make choices based on logic and reasoning, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the journey has started. The journey has started, and my appeal to all those who are writing letters and making comments here and there to write to us. Madam Speaker, write to us. Give us your suggestions. Give us your suggestions. We will examine it for its relevance and use. To those who are making allegations, write to the ministry, and we will provide collaborative facts and figures, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we need everyone's support, because education is about nation building, Madam Speaker, delivering onto dreams and securing future Fiji. It's everyone's business. Again, please come on board. Madam Speaker, members of the House and people of Fiji, thank you. Naga.
Thank you. And I call upon the Leader of the Opposition or her nominee for the response.
Member responds to the ministerial statement. May I, through your good self, request the ministers, particularly the Minister for Education, Heritage and Arts, if he would provide with us, like we were provided yesterday, the summary on the statements that they would make. Yesterday, the two honorable ministers, the Attorney General, he was able to provide for us what he was going to address yesterday in terms of the HIES results, and also on the Zika virus. So we were able to respond properly to that, because the people who are watching and listening, they need a proper response from us. And when he stands and gives us that very important information on exams and results, we need to be properly...
I think that is clear. Remember, you have only 5 minutes. You're taking up time.
To be properly addressed also from our side, Honorable Speaker. So if you would, through you, just give that information to the ministers. Thank you. Now, our member, please.
Thanks very much for that response.